Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rising Stars, where we interview local Montreal talent on the rise. Today's episode is brought to you by Urban Eats Montreal, and I am joined by Roksana Olsinskaya today. Roksana, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's super exciting.
Same here, same here. So we were talking a bit off camera about your acting journey. Why don't we start off with that? Give us an insight into how you started, what brought it about.
So let me put it this way. So the acting right now is really a realization of a childhood dream. So I guess for many people, usually it is like that. So I guess I'm not anyhow different. I started about 2.5 years ago, and that kind of came at the same time as I quit my corporate job, where I've been for a good 15 years within one company, but in total it was about 20 years of experience. I quit my job, and at first I kind of tried to look for something still in that corporate business, but I think that the stars over there didn't really align to that intention. So at one point of time I said, okay, like maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, that's what's supposed to be for me, and I really focused much more right now on acting. I even removed on LinkedIn, like looking for a job, you know, like that green thing, being open to work. Yeah, because I said, okay, I think I found the place where I feel comfortable, where I really love what I'm doing and where I'm meant to be.
That's beautiful. And you said that it was a realization of a childhood dream.
Yeah.
Take me back to that childhood dream, if you will. What started it when you were young?
Well, I always loved to be in front of the camera. In the university, I did some theater. And it's funny how, like, at one point of time when I was choosing the university back in the days in Moscow, I did have an idea of going to the theater university to pursue that kind of childhood dream, but I didn't really have a lot of confidence at that point of time. I was not sure if I'm going to succeed or not, so I chose the traditional way. I went to study marketing, etc., and I kind of was pursuing that career for over 15 years now. But every time, whenever I had an opportunity at every places of work to get on stage or get in front of the camera, I was there, like hosting conference for 1,500 people.
Wow.
If we need to perform, so a couple of years we did like a performance with the employees on stage. So I was singing, dancing, corporate videos, like any opportunity just to get in front of the camera or on the stage. I was hopping on it on top of my work, and that was my happy place. So even though I kind of didn't pursue that career in my childhood period or when I needed to choose the university, it still kind of went along with me across my entire life. And the thoughts of like, okay, like acting, modeling, they kept popping in my head.
Yeah.
So that's what, okay, maybe that's for a reason. So that's when I started looking for acting classes. I found acting classes of Susanna Lanier, and I've been doing them for a good like year and a half, almost non-stop or on and off, but it was pretty intense. I found an agent. So step by step, and I remember when I kind of decided, okay, I'm not going to go back to corporate. I'm going to focus on acting. And I remember the first thing I got, I think I auditioned for a commercial, and I saw, you know, like how much you can get money-wise out of commercial. I said, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like I can do one commercial per month, and I'm going to be fine financially. But yeah, guess what? Who does one commercial per month? Usually you're lucky to do it once a year.
Once a year, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the next moment of realization. Okay, like I need to find some part-time job to have some stability financial. Yeah. And then I kept on auditions. I upgraded my audition setup, which was initially, like 2 lamps, random, etc. Now I have like a full proper lights and the backlit, everything. So yeah, it was a gradual step by step.
Of course.
But I think lucky to say that I was on set on Thursday. I finally got my first actor credit.
Oh, congratulations.
It was a little tick the box from my vision board, because I really wanted to try to get at least at one point of time into actor, because we all know that it opens up a bit the doors.
Yeah, of course.
To different projects.
Of course.
So I guess it was a little tick in the box for me that, okay, miracles can happen.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Of course, and we're going to touch on that in a bit, but I just wanted to ask you real quick. You're 2.5 years into your acting journey. You're also 2.5 years removed from the corporate world. Can you tell me or let's say someone was going to ask you, like, Roksana, I'm thinking about leaving my stable job. I want to jump into something more artistic. Tell me how you felt after you made that leap, or what advice would you give to someone who wants to take that leap into essentially the unknown?
Well, two things, depending also on the age of the person, right? So I started acting when I was like 42-ish, kind of. At first I thought, okay, is it too late for me to kind of even start that career? Because usually you start at a much younger age. So for those people, I would say, first of all, nothing is too late, never is too late. So if it's something that is really calling you, go for it. But then you need to be ready for, like all the goods and bads of taking that leap, right? So if you're moving away from the corporate world, then you need to get ready for some, I'm not saying financial difficulties, but you would have some bumps in the road, right? Because it's not that, and it's funny because a lot of my friends, they thought, oh, okay, cool, like you settled, now you're acting, so like you're not looking for a job, you're financially stable. When I was catching up with them, I was like, well, no, it's a roller coaster, right? And if you're lucky to get a recurring TV series role, then you might be good, but also for a certain period of time. So whoever decides to hop on that journey, he or she just needs to be ready for trying to get the part-time job, not expect to receive yes right away. And for me, it was also like, okay, like why I'm not being booked, why am I not good enough, those kind of things. So the person needs to be able to self-motivate and reconvince himself on a daily, I would say, basis that like, no, it's not about you, like you will get 299 no's and then the last one will be yes. So it's all those kind of hustles that you have when you're on the journey. So it's not an easy one, I would say. And I'm looking for the adult. It's easier because also I have two kids. So one of them, he's 13. He also right now is into acting. He is with my agent, and I can see how it's difficult sometimes for him. Like, yeah, but like another audition, I'm not being booked, etc. Finally, he also got like his first credit. He got booked, so that for him was a little bit of okay, finally, like I worth of something, right? But I think for the younger people, it might be a little bit difficult, like to cope with this rejection on a regular basis. And it's not even rejection. You're an actor, you send the auditions and it goes like in a black hole. It's not even that you get rejection, right? Like you just get no answer. You send, you hope, and usually it's just silence. So for the younger people, it would be more how to self-motivate and like keep on going. And I'm a strong believer that if you do nothing, nothing's going to happen. If you keep doing and keep believing that it's going to at one point of time happen, it will. Exactly. And but I think for the people who hop onto this journey, coming out of the stable job, it's to get ready to find something part-time, to find themselves in that new routine, right? When like you don't know if you're going to book, not book, and then you have part-time job, and sometimes the financial aspect of it, depending on the age of the person, might also play a big role.
Exactly, and it brings me to my next point, because one of my friends in the acting industry, Chris Mack, who's been in it for a really long time, told me we have to remember that it's just not an artistic vocation. It's called show business for a reason. There's a business side to it as well. You were on the business side working in corporate for a long time. Tell me about some skills you took from that business side that you were on and you transferred them into your acting career.
Always be on time.
Always be on time.
Always be committed. If you said that you're going to send the audition at this point of time, you do it. Show up no matter what. I guess that was also part of my principles during the corporate world. So the same here. Like, I mean, sometimes different things can happen, but like, you show up no matter what, and you invest 200% of yourself when you're on set. So I think that one. And in terms of the business, it's not really something I'm bringing from the corporate world, but it's something that I'm learning now, is that it's not about you usually, right? So there are multiple factors that can affect the final decision of the casting director or of the producers. So it's never really about you. That's what you need. The person needs to remember, not to take it personally.
Of course, that's a big one. Never take anything personally. And
even though sometimes it's hard, you know, like
you
put a lot of passion and your
Exactly.
heart and soul into it, and you think, oh, like I did so great, I'm the best one for this role.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh well, it's not meant for you. You go on, you move on, and you
Exactly.
the next audition.
Exactly, always on to the next, always. And I want to touch on next a bit of your training. You had told me that you're training with Suzanne Lanier, who I hear is a great teacher. I haven't had the pleasure of working with her, but take me through, I always like to ask this, your first ever acting class. Take me through some of the emotions you were feeling, maybe some nerves.
Yeah,
I know I had nerves my first acting class. Yeah.
And well, when I came first, and I know that she has all the different levels of the actors who come to her classes. So when I came first, for me it was the first time ever. And usually when we are in her classes, she does like a little bit of introduction, etc. And I realized that half of the group, they were the actors that have been doing and have been in the industry for like 20 years or something like that. So my first thought was, oh my God, like I'm gonna be embarrassing embarrassing myself, etc. That's lack of self-confidence popped up. And I'm kind of more an introverted type of person. So for me, getting out of the shell and acting in front of the others, and as I'm acting, I was trying to, like kill those thoughts in the back of my head, or like, what are they going to think?
Yeah.
So I think that was for me the most difficult thing. But honestly, what I love about Suzanne Lanier workshop is that the atmosphere is so friendly, cozy, family type. No matter, like, I've been to many different groups with different people, it's always the same, because I think that's how Susanna sets the tone. I think like a couple of classes and I really felt myself. And then the next session, I felt myself already more like a fish in the water. But that first class, I still remember. Like, I was like shaking. But after, so I think I did maybe about 3 or 4 sessions with her. And sessions, usually it's 1 month, like 4 weeks. And I got my first speaking role. It was fine. It was a Deloitte internal corporate video with a huge production. I was pretty surprised, like really, like for a corporate video. And I got a role of Russian hacker. No surprise, And I remember that first moment on the set, like I was standing in front of the window and I could feel my knees were like trembling. But I thought, my God, how good that I did take, like by then already like 4 sessions with Susanna. So that need of acting in front of a bunch of other people and really being in the character instead of focusing on like, okay, what are they going to think of me? Like, am I good? Am I not good? It was already not an issue, right? So she's really an amazing teacher. And if ever also you decide to try out her workshops, I really recommend. For sure. And tell me about the biggest takeaway so far you've taken from Susanna's classes, be it a technique or a theory, or even it could be a sentence she told you that really stuck with you and has helped you? I think there are a few. So purely on the technical side of the acting is she gave quite a couple of good insights how to learn the script fast. And I'm sure most of actors know those tips. For me, it was new is when you kind of learn your script by like 70%, record yourself, both your lines and the lines of the other character, and then just listen to it on repeat. So in my case, it helped me tremendously, because right now I can literally take, I don't know, like 3-4 pages script, and like it would take me like a couple of hours to memorize it. So that really worked very well for me, but that's on the technical side. And then in terms of I asked her at one point of time, because for me it was important just to understand if I can make it anywhere in this. Maybe it's still, like that ambitious corporate person in me, like, okay, like, can I reach something? And I asked her, like, hey, like, what do you think? And I really need just like an honest answer. And she's like, no, like I think you're amazing. And will you be able to get it to the Hollywood? Maybe no, but I'm pretty sure that you will be able to make it to different projects because you do have the talent. And for me, it was more how welcoming she is. I heard different stories from different students about different classes, and not all the classes sometimes are as welcoming, and you feel like you really feel comfortable if you need to be vulnerable, if you need to cry on the scene, if you need to.
'Cause that's important.
Yeah. So she does create that kind of environment, which for me was really very important.
Yeah.
So I think I'll need to try to find maybe to work with some other coaches because it's important. But I'm pretty sure that I will keep on returning to her anyway.
For sure. And you had mentioned before that you're a bit more introverted as a person. I find that I am as well. Do you feel that acting is kind of like a therapy to uncover another side of yourself, a more extroverted side of yourself? Because I remember that's how I felt my first year acting. I was like, wow, like I'm really coming into my own.
I don't know. For me, no, I don't think that for me. For me, it's more the opportunity to really become different characters.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's also the side of that hidden side of the extrovert.
Yeah.
But no, for me, it's more like the opportunity. The acting is the, I don't know if it's the therapy or not, but the opportunity to play different characters.
Okay.
Do you have any like specific characters you like to play?
It's funny because when I first started acting, I was getting typecast a bit as the douche bag, the jock, sports guy. But I always liked those louder roles because in my real life I'm more reserved, I'm more quiet, I'm more tranquille, as they say in French. But I always veered more towards those roles because I could really just let loose and do whatever I wanted, and at the end it was like, oh, well, I was acting, you know what I mean? so yeah, is there any characters you would like to play?
Well, I was, to your point, I was also like typecasted for, in what I've noticed at least, for like tough kind of bossy kind of characters. But every time, at least when I was in the class of Susanna, I was always asking for different roles. At one point of time I asked her, like, can I get a psychic role? Like I want to really try to stretch myself into like being a psycho. Or because you can be typecasted for certain roles, but as an actor you want still to develop all those different muscles, not to be an actor of one role.
One-dimensional.
So yeah, so that's why I asked, okay, can I get the comedy? I want to try some comedy role. Can I get like more vulnerable? Can I get more like psychic or more like, because I think being like the harsh and straight and that kind of person, it's almost, I'm not saying I'm playing myself, but like I tend to fall into that very easy. And then in order to develop all those different muscles, that's where you need to try all those different characters that are not really you. Yeah.
So tell me a bit about the different preparation you did, because you said the strict comes a bit more naturally to you. Now let's say you're playing a psycho or you're doing a more comedic role. How did you prepare for those roles?
It's fun. Like I know that usually guys, they have like a whole preparation, and you eventually do the script analysis. You're trying to understand like what the character, what's the goal, and usually that's actually also what Susanna, how she teaches us. So what's the goal of the character in the scene? What he's trying to achieve. So doing all those preps, and then actually I don't know, just going with the flow. Because if you understand. If I'll take an example as a psycho, right? Like if it's a psycho, I would probably I would go and read if it's not like a strict businesswoman role, as something that I don't usually play. When I was preparing for the role that Susanna gave me for the psycho, I would go and check some behavioral traits or some like how the person, what he would do with his hands or body movements, nonverbal things, just to try to incorporate that into the role. So as an example, that would be one of the preps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And is there a role you would love to play that you still haven't in the future? Is there one that really resonates with you?
Yeah, can I use the one as an example, right?
Yeah, of course.
Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears
Do you
Prada.
see
Meryl
that?
Streep or Anne
Yeah.
Hathaway?
No, Meryl Streep.
Meryl
Meryl
Streep.
Streep. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I will actually next time when I'm gonna return to Susanna's class, I wanted to. I think I'm gonna pick up one of the scenes from Devils Wear Prada.
Okay. And that gets to my next point. Talk to me about some of your influences in acting, be it an actress or an artist. Who really influences you?
Well, Meryl Streep is one of the, and to be honest, I have an example that I'm not really liking to refer to, but there are some actors that are actors of one role that are the same, and they're, I mean, well-known Hollywood actors. They're the same in pretty much every single movie. When you see, like, it's very, you can very easily and clearly see the same acting traits, if I may say so. And then for me, like, Meryl Streep is a great example of the actress that is different. Like, she can really take from Devil Wears Prada to, like, all the different other characters that are not anyhow even close to Miranda Priestley, right? So I think her and all the old schools, I guess, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, all those kind of guys that have been there for a very long time.
For sure, for sure. And heading forward, what is something you would love to accomplish in your career? Be it in, let's say, 1 year, what would you like to get done?
Recurring role in the TV series, or a co-star in a feature film.
For sure.
Wow, that sounds like almost unachievable, I guess. But I don't think I'm gonna keep that thought for too long in my head. So yeah, I'm gonna put that on my vision board.
Of course.
Because before I had on my vision board to get the actor credit and to get a role in the feature film. So those ones are done. Now I guess I just need to move on to the next.
There we go.
Yeah, to the next levels.
There we go. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. And tell me a bit about your son is acting as well. You're acting from a parent, from a mother-son perspective. How do you guys bond over that? What advice do you give him, seeing he's younger? And
well, the bond for sure is built during the auditions, self-tapes, because doing a self-tape with the Gen Z, 13 years old teenager, he needs to pet a cat, and then there will be 25,000 different distractions.
Yeah.
But and it also actually is funny because for him it started, we were just doing some lip sync reels for Instagram. So this is how for him even it started. And I just noticed that he was very artistic, and he would do those lip syncs like in 2 takes. So okay, so maybe we can give it a try. So I sent his photos like to my agents, like, hey, like, do you take kids, etc. And I think at first with our agent it was kind of a bit slowly, because I think he was also looking how serious, like because kids, they're kids anyway. And as I think our agent was seeing that we were delivering on time, and we were trying always to do different takes. So even if it was requested, just like sometimes they request an audition, do different takes, do improv, etc. So we were always trying. I said, okay, like, how else you can do that? Like, what else you can do? So now he is really like getting more and more auditions. So I think also our agent is seeing that it's a serious commitment. And yeah, the bond is usually I'm trying to coach him, because I was trying to find him some acting classes, and I know that MSOPA, they do have the acting classes for the kids, but unfortunately it falls at the same time as he goes to the Russian school on Saturday, so he's a busy kid. It didn't work out yet, but I'll still keep searching. But so me, I'm literally, whatever I picked up from Susanna's classes, I'm trying to kind of coach him to my best knowledge during the self-tapes, during the auditions, and I also allow him the space. Like when he was doing the self-tape for this role that he got in a feature film, that he got also like the actor credit. We had a brief to do just 1 take and then just do 2 improvs. And I let him decide. I said, okay, how do you want to do that? So this is the character, this is what's going on, etc., etc. what can be the other two options that you can do in this scene. So he has chosen by himself what he's going to do. So I do coach him, I do kind of direct him, if I may say so, because sometimes we would do the take and I would say like, no, you're just trying to spill out the words.
Yeah.
Like you're not there, like we don't have the dialogue, like you're just trying to get faster, you know, like get the lines out of your mouth, and that's it, like redo. So yeah, it's a coaching, it's a bonding, for sure. So if ever the parents who are in acting and their kids decide to go in acting, that's fun. That's a fun activity to do with the kid for sure.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And lastly, I wanted to touch on you had mentioned you got your ACTRA credit recently. Talk to me about that experience on set.
Oh.
What was the role for, if we could talk about it? I don't know if an NDA was signed.
NDA
was involved,
yeah.
but okay, no problem.
NDA was involved, yeah, so I can't really name the film. It was Hollywood, like, because how they usually do, right? Like they bring the they cast the big actors there, and then they bring and they cast for smaller roles among the Montreal,
Toronto,
exactly. So initially it was funny because initially it was him who got the role. We auditioned both for this movie, and for me it was like when I looked at the actors that were there and the levels, like okay, it was a little bit like
intimidating.
Yeah, and like I don't know if we're gonna get it because probably they will be looking for actor people, etc. So we did the audition. We sent. I didn't get at first anything, and he got the role. So for him, that was like, oh my God, like finally, because big break after like 2 years of doing non-stop, finally something happened. So yeah, we went to the fitting. So for him, it was all super new. Well, for me as well, technically, I was sitting and looking at this and I was kind of thinking, okay, like next time it's gonna be me who's gonna be there too. And then, for the one of the roles that I auditioned for, they ended up choosing a different actress. And when I actually to our discussion about it's never about you, it's always about the vision also of the casting directors. Because when I saw her on set, because we were on set last Thursday and this Thursday, so like Thursday week ago and this Thursday. So when I saw her first on set on Thursday, I thought, okay, I understand why the choice was towards her, not me. So that gave me also a bit of, like, okay, closure. nothing to do with me, etc. Okay, cool. And then on this Thursday, when, because on Thursday, the first day, we were shooting just some photo pictures for the, I guess, the props. Project, and this Thursday, they were supposed to shoot this scene itself. And something happened with the actress, so she didn't come. Oh. Yeah, so they called me, hey, like you also auditioned for the role, you were like the second choice, are you available to come to the shoot today? So like, yes. Oh my God, yes. Well, anyway, I was, because we were supposed to come on the shoot with Nikita, with my son, so we were just sitting and waiting. So yeah, they brought me in, fitting. I needed to wear the wig because they needed still somehow to fit me in that vision of the casting director. But yeah, for me it was like, oh my God, like somebody pinch me, because I felt bad for the other actress though, because for her it was also supposed to be like the first big thing. But yeah. Anyway, something, I know, the stars aligned somehow. She was like, nothing serious happened to her, so at least, nothing bad. But yeah, so they brought me on set, like, do you remember the lines? I said, like, yes, I auditioned for this role. I remember every single line, no worries. And we talked, the atmosphere on the set was so, and I know that sometimes the atmosphere may vary on those kind of big sets. It was so much fun. It was really, it was amazing. And the two directors, they were very, very fun to work with. Very approachable, very...
not like what you see in...
I mean, like I haven't been to that many sets yet, so let's see, that was my first start. But yeah, it was almost kind of, we discussed some things and they were open to that kind of even discussion with that level of actors that we were. I mean, like not the big stars. And yeah, in the end of the day, we were playing mom and son. So we're
Perfect.
both
In
in
character.
this scene in character, yes. No, it was. I'm still. I think like yesterday, I was trying to fall asleep in bed, and I still kept, like going around through the lines,
Yeah.
and like through the set, because it was really like a dream coming true.
For sure, and that's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
You started 2.5 years ago. You're in a smaller acting community in Montreal. Kudos to you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And my final question, as a Montreal actress, what is something you'd like to see more of in the community?
In the community, comparing to the, let's say, where we are now, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I guess as in every Montreal actress, actress, to see more Montreal actors being casted for some bigger roles,
Yeah.
right? So not for some one-liners, etc. Because there are a lot of talented people here too.
Absolutely.
I don't know if this ever gonna happen or not, but because usually that's how it goes, right, with big productions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be the best thing for not just me, but for everyone to have more opportunities. I think also in Montreal, it depends how fluent is your French as well.
Yeah.
Right, because that's where it kind of can become a bit of a bottleneck. I do speak French, but also it's going back to actor and UDA, it's a little bit of the vicious circle, I think, for adult actors. Because I think for the kids, it's a bit easier because they kind of still can be accepted because that's how they can get the opportunity to start earning those credits.
Yeah.
And for the adult actors, and maybe that's another big thing that I would really want to see more in our acting community. I don't know if this vicious circle can ever be broken, but you need to have a credit, UDA or ACTRA, to be able to get into the project, exactly, right? But then in order to get, so it's like
to the project,
you need to get a credit.
Yeah,
so this is kind of a little bit of a vicious circle, and it's really difficult to break that circle. So I don't know. That's probably would be another thing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if this could somehow change, or I don't know, if casting directors could be a bit more open to. Looking at because sometimes you can see, sometimes you are in the last, at the bottom of the list, right?
Yeah.
If they're looking through the auditions, okay, non-union, and there are a lot of auditions where it's only UDA or only actress, so there is not even an opportunity to showcase yourself.
Exactly.
And I think they're also missing out a bit on those non-union actors,
100%.
right? Because sometimes it's just a question of also luck, the actor credits and UDA credits.
Exactly.
Talent and sometimes also a luck. Like in my case, it was, I don't know, bad luck, good luck, whatever, right? But I don't know how long it would have taken me to get that actor credit, to have the real access to the projects, right?
Exactly.
So that's probably, that's another big thing that would be amazing if this thing could have changed a little bit.
Of course, I agree 100%. And I just want to thank you for this interview because it was very inspirational.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. It was very interesting to talk to you.
The future successes in your career.
Now let's keep in touch.
There we go. There we go. Thank you, Roksana.
Thank you.
Thank you.